Alive City. Oh, that was weak. Alive City. That's what I'm talking about, because anything dead needs to be buried, okay? Y'all, I'm honored to have this opportunity, this chance, if you will, another moment to give God all I got. I don't take it for granted. Pastor Screen isn't here today, but I do want to say thank you, Prophet, for giving me the opportunity. And, I got to say this about him. Sometimes, God sends prophets into your life for them to see further than you can. We always talk about them confirming what you know, but we don't give enough credit for them seeing far beyond what you can. And Pastor Dashen, I thank you for the extra prayers and the push. I feel you right now. And I know, family, y'all are used to me being over behind the keys, giving God my best from there. Oh my God, oh. Now they came back today. Y'all give it up for the Halls. Pastor Hall. Prophet Hall. Y'all done set me up. That's what that was. Y'all done set me up. Y'all done set me up. But it's all cool. It's all cool. I'm glad when family is in the room, huh? So, if you will, please go to Genesis 21, starting at the 14th verse. Julian, you ain't got to leave me. Stay with me. So, and the Bible says, so Abraham rose early in the morning and took bread and a skin of water, and putting it on her shoulder, he gave it and the boy to Hagar and sent her away. Then she departed and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba. And the water in the skin was used up, and she placed the boy under one of the shrubs. Then she went and sat down across from him at a distance of about a bow shot. For she said to herself, let me not see the depth of the boy. So she sat opposite of him and lifted her voice and wept. Verse 17 says, and God heard the voice of the lad. Then the angel of God called to Hagar out of heaven and said to her, what ails you, Hagar? Fear not, for God has heard the voice of the lad where he is. Arise, lift up the lad, and hold him with your hand, for I will make him a great nation. Verse 19, then God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. And she went and filled the skin with water and gave the lad a drink. If I had to title this message this morning, it would simply be, He Saw Me. I don't know if anybody ever felt like you've been overlooked or misunderstood, but I just want to push somebody today and let them know, no matter what you've been thinking, no matter what you've been feeling, no matter how down you may have been, God saw. So church, before we get into the text, let me ask a question. How is it that we've become more connected than any generation before us, yet loneliness continues to increase? We can see what everybody else is doing, where they're vacationing, what they're eating. Y'all like to eat, so I like to know what y'all eating. Who they're dating, and still not know they're falling apart. We've learned how to follow people without really seeing people. And I believe that that's why some people walked into the church today. asking a question that they never asked out loud, which is, God, do you still see me? Not my ministry, not my gift, not my title, but me. Can I tell you something? You're not the first person to ask that question. There was a woman in the scripture that we just read about by the name of Hagar. She wrestled with that same silence. She had been overlooked by people, rejected by those closest to her, and left to survive in the wilderness. You know, when you've been overlooked by people, there's a side of God you'll discover that comfortable people never have to meet. And I'm going to tell you something. Before we ever even read another verse, I believe this message is an answer to somebody's prayer. I believe somebody walked in here wondering if heaven had forgotten about your address. But before this service is over, I believe God is going to remind you, God has not forgotten. So if you will, let's get back to the text. Verse 14 says, Abraham gave Hagar bread in a skin of water and sent her away. She had enough for the moment, but she didn't know where the journey would end. The Bible says she wandered, not wandered, but wandered in the wilderness. And if I can help anybody today, sometimes wandering isn't rebellion. Sometimes wandering is what obedience feels like when you don't understand where God is leading you. You're praying, you're trusting, you're obeying, and you're still asking, Lord, where are you taking me? And I want to declare this over somebody's life today. I believe this is your last season of wandering without direction. I promise if y'all talk back to me, we're not going to be long. God is bringing clarity where there has been confusion, peace where there has been anxiety, purpose where there has been pain. You may not know every detail, but your next step is already ordered by God. Anybody receive that? Now, I want to talk about when resources run out. Eventually, the water did run out. And notice what fell, the water, not God's promise. And I just heard, I'm a big old Lisa Knowles fan. I just heard her, the promises of God, oh yeah, yeah. Man, I'm trying to see, some of y'all listen to Lisa too. God keeps his promises. So the resource may end, but God's faithfulness did not. And I just want to speak to the people who've been running on empty. You've been pouring into everybody else. You've been carrying everybody else's burdens. You've been showing up while secretly falling apart. And here's this declaration. You will not die where your resources ran out. The same God who sustained you yesterday is already waiting in your tomorrow. He is not surprised by your shortage. He already has provision prepared. Look at your neighbor and say, the provision is prepared. Now let's keep going. Now watch Hagar. She places her son under the bush. She walks away because she cannot bear to watch him die. I don't know if anybody ever looked at this way, but how can anybody watch what they gave birth to die? That may be your purpose. That may be your God-given thing. How can you watch what he gave die? So, and the reason I'm taking these pauses is because I really want y'all to understand and feel what's going on. It's not the fact that we battle as a people with physical invisibility, but we battle with emotional invisibility. Sometimes we just want to know you see me. Sometimes we just want to know you understand me. Sometimes we just want to know when we walk inside those double doors back there that somebody, instead of just giving a hug out of formality, says, you know what? No, I picked you up in the spirit. We just want to know that you see me. See me in the spirit. That's where we at with that. We see it in the spirit. So let's get back to it. Have you ever been so overwhelmed that you didn't know what else to do? The text is honest enough to show us that even faithful people reach breaking points. But while Hagar is crying, heaven is listening. Verse 17, it talks about God hears and he calls. Watch this. Verse 17 says, God heard. And if I can stop there, because some people need to hear this, God has not forgotten your prayer. He has not misplaced your tears. He has not ignored your worship. He has not stopped listening. Heaven is not silent because heaven is absent. Sometimes heaven is preparing an answer while you're still asking the question. Then God calls Hagar, watch this, by name. Don't miss that. I promise you we're going to spin the block and come back to it. Pain didn't erase her identity. The wilderness didn't change who she was. God still knew her name. And can I show you something that really blessed me? This wasn't Hagar's first wilderness. Back in Genesis 16, Sarah mistreated her. And Hagar ran away. Woo. Look at your neighbor and say, that's Bible. She found herself alone, pregnant, afraid, and forgotten. But God found her now years later. She's back in another wilderness. Different season. Y'all repeat after me. Same God. So if I can take a moment to just speak to somebody who's saying, Lord, I can't believe I'm back here again. Though the place looks familiar, the pain feels familiar, the questions sound familiar, but hear me. If God found you in your last wilderness, he knows exactly where to find you in this one. God has never lost your location. And I declare that everything that tried to redefine you by your disappointment is losing its power. You are not your failure. You are not your setback. You are not your rejection. You are who God says you are. I do this thing with Caden. I don't know where he went it, but I do this thing with Caden where I tell him, I am who God says I am. That's one time for the Father. I am who God says I am. Though it may not feel like I want it to feel, though it may not look like I want it to look, I am who God says I am. Woo. Y'all watch that. Y'all watch that, because somebody in here may remember who God made them to be. Y'all gotta stop playing. Y'all gotta stop playing with that thing. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to just reflect back and remember. Back in the older days, they used to say, as I look back over my life and I think things over, I can truly say that I've been blessed. I've got a testimony. Though your circumstances may feel crazy, it's just your testimony. Watch it. Y'all watch that. I feel it today. I feel it. Let's keep moving. Y'all sit down. Y'all sit down. Y'all sit down. This ain't even the good part yet. Y'all making me feel like we there already. So Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. Verse 19 says, then God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. Before we rush to the well, let me take you back. Because years earlier, after God met Hagar in that first wilderness, she did something remarkable. Somebody knows what she did. She gave God a name. She looked at God, at the God who found a forgotten servant, a rejected woman, someone nobody else was looking for. And she said, you are Elroy, the God who sees me. Notice what she didn't call him. She didn't call him the God who immediately changed everything. She didn't call him the God who made the pain go away. She didn't call him, she ain't call him the God who provided, even though we got bills that's due. She didn't do that. She called him Elroy, the God who sees me. Because before God changed her circumstances, he changed her certainty. I'm going to say that one more time. Before God changed her circumstances, he changed her certainty. She walked away knowing one thing. I may be in the wilderness, but I am not invincible. And isn't that just like God? The God Hagar called Elroy in Genesis 16 proves himself to be Elroy again in Genesis 21. I heard I trip it right then. If he did it before, he'll do it again. Same God. Same God. Okay. Y'all watch that. Y'all watch that. Y'all watch that. Because God doesn't stop seeing you because you're in another season. He doesn't stop seeing you because you've cried before. He doesn't stop seeing you because you've wandered longer than expected. The same God who saw you then, he still sees you now. Sometimes the first miracle isn't a changed circumstance. It's a changed perspective. You know, oftentimes, I want to pin right here real quick. Oftentimes I get with my friends, my family or whatnot, and sometimes we don't see eye to eye. And God had to do this thing in my heart where I started to not get offended all at once. I had to change my perspective. Because sometimes we can say things and we feel a certain way initially and not understand the perspective or which way I was coming to you. So just Pastor Hall, we family. If she tell me, all right, Trey, you need to sit down right now, I can get offended. I can get offended because, well, what you mean I need to sit down? I'm up here giving what God gave me, and this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is my assignment. She said, sit down, because in the spiritual realm, I may be further than what's needed for the house. Sometimes I may be under what's needed for the house. So I can't get upset when God sends correction through somebody else. Let me get back to my text. Y'all don't want to talk about perspectives. Sometimes God lets you see differently before he moves differently. And I'm praying that before this season is over, God opens your eyes. Eyes to favor. Don't do that, Zoo. Eyes to favor you almost missed. Eyes to opportunities you almost walked away from. Eyes to relationships assigned to your future. Eyes to his faithfulness that's been surrounding you all along. So let me do one thing. I wanna go back real quick because there's somebody else that actually feels like Hagar as well too. And if y'all don't mind, there's a story in Second Kings 4, and I'm not going to read it. Y'all can read it in y'all spare time. Second Kings 4. There's another woman, another impossible situation. She says, "I have nothing except." Pain always minimizes what God can use. She almost dismissed the very thing God intended to multiply. Hagar couldn't yet perceive the well. The widow underestimated the oil. Now, side note, I was going to preach something else, but God gave me this journey to travel today. My other message, I'll give this to y'all real quick. It was going to be fill it up. Because you got to understand, though you may see jars and a little bit of oil. With God, fill it up. And matter of fact, if you got some more jars, keep filling it up and keep going. Matter of fact, his provision will keep sustaining you until you run out of empty space for him to fill. But like I said, different women, different circumstances, same faithful God, which means the issue has never been what they lack. The issue has always been what God could do with what remained. Yeah. So I told y'all, y'all been talking back to me. I don't really have too much more for you. But as I close, I keep hearing Hagar's testimony. She could have called him a lot of things. She could have called him a lot of things. She could have called him deliverer, provider, miracle worker, way maker. But she chose one name, Elroy, the God who sees me. And I asked myself this week, Lord, why that name? Because Hagar understood something many of us are still learning. If God sees me, he will never miss what I need. Yeah. If God sees me, his provision flows from his vision. If God sees me, he wouldn't provide because he accidentally found her. He provided because he had been watching over her all along. That's why my confidence isn't in the well. Wells can run dry. I don't know about any of y'all, but I've had jobs that disappeared. And this is really one that we really don't talk about too much. We say we're okay without them, but this hurts too. I told people they can leave even though I hurt when they left. That's a real thing, right? That's a real thing, right? Okay. And I haven't always been here, but Pastor Screen helped me with this. Money comes and goes. I was thinking too small because God wanted to do exceedingly abundantly. I couldn't see that in the spiritual realm because I was stuck in what it felt like, what it looked like. Sometimes it felt like I was going to work just to pay bills, and not having enough to really, that's somebody else's testimony. Sometimes I feel like we really don't have it all. Matter of fact, let's go back to 2 Kings 4th chapter when she said, I have nothing except. And I hope my grandma is watching right now. I remember when my grandma used to teach me a certain song, and it said, if you can use anything, Lord, you can use me. That song, it went back to a place, because God, when I have nothing else, when I have completely, I don't have no resource, I don't have nothing I can run to, you can still use me. Watch this. And the song kept going, take my hand, Lord, and my feet, touch my heart, Lord, speak to me. If you can use anything, Lord, you can. Did we grow up together? Because the thing about it is, like I said, you know, we're in a certain time where we got so many followers on social media. We got so many people trying to watch through a lens of what our lives are like. But a lot of people don't understand. You don't know what it costs to be who I am. You don't know what it's like to carry my name. Watch this, bump the name. To carry my assignment. Because the moment that we start walking into obedience, we're going to miss a lot of the things that we feel in the natural. But look. Seasons change. But the God who sees me never loses sight of me. Before I saw the answer, he saw me. Before I saw the breakthrough, the real, he saw me. And Tyrese, before I saw the open door, he saw me. And if y'all don't mind, will y'all point y'all head toward Tyrese real quick? Tyrese, this is the year for you to see more open doors. You've tried to do things for everybody else. This is the season and the time where God says, I'm about to do it for you. Can y'all get excited for Tyrese? And that's my brother. That's why it hit different. That's why it hit a little different, because when you know you've seen people in their wilderness, sometimes God just whispered at the most inopportune times. Tell him I said this. And even though it's like, well, God, he been going over. I'm not telling his business. I'm just saying, you know, it gets like that sometimes. Pastor Hall, before I saw the healing, he saw me. Pastor Hall, before I saw the healing, he saw me. If I'm no, Pastor Hall. And the reason I said that is because you have a part of your ministry that's about to cause healing to take place with everybody that you come in contact with. God allowed you to go through your wilderness for you to start passing out those healings. Just because they have conversations with you, they're about to be healed because they're able to open up. And one thing I like about an open box, when you open a box, you can fill it with something. But also when you open that same box, you can release something. Every time you feel their open box, God is going to release something else on you. Pastor Dashan, before I saw the provision, he saw me. Pastor Doc said, before I knew I was surrounded by billionaires, he had to show me what one looked like. And Pastor Doc saying, you went through your wilderness seasons as well. But I'm a firm believer that you ain't even touched all the money that belongs to you. Come on, y'all got to get happy for her. Because what God is going to do with this next season for you, he's going to pour out blessings and it's going to continue to overflow. 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 So much so you won't have to worry about nothing. And Squeaky, I want you to get excited as well too. Because the oil flows from the head down. And this time when it flows, it's going to take care of you and all your dreams as well too. Can y'all celebrate them real quick? Oreo, I ain't forgot about you neither. I ain't forgot. The thing about it is, Oreo, while you're off doing your own things, you're in your own world, God says he's positioning you as well. You will do more. She will do more. And before I ever knew his plan, he saw me. So today, I leave here with Hagar's confession. You are Elroy, the God who sees me. And if that's your testimony, would you stand on your feet? Wow, wow. Now don't stand if that's not your testimony. I want those that understand that God sees you. Yeah. Wow. So I find it, God, thank you. I don't find it crazy. But in this room right now, there's more women than there are men. God used a woman to feel the need of a man. And today, women, we want to love on y'all. We want y'all to embrace each other, because the same pain that y'all have been a strong people for a while, carrying things that we never know. And most of the times we always say we don't know what the man carries and what the man needs. Sometimes even though the woman may get all the credit or whatever, we're never understanding enough for the woman. And so it's my prayer for every woman in here, that God goes beyond what you asked. It's my prayer that while you're being the helpmate or the one that's standing alone right now because your husband coming, but it's my prayer that God don't allow you to burn out or even feel like you're not enough while carrying the burdens of others. Though it tarry, wait. And if I could get a couple of the older women to embrace some of these younger women right about now. Y'all, come on. Y'all mothers, can y'all please embrace some of these younger women right now? And let them know that they're more than enough. Come on. These women done labored for years. These women done carried for years. Let them know that they're more than enough. And God, while they're embracing them, God, I ask you to touch those that have labored long enough. I ask you to cover them, God, that their labor has not been in vain. Yeah. God's going to get glory out of all of this. Stay there. Soon as I stop worrying how the story ends, I let go and I let God. I let God have His way. That's when things start happening. When I stop looking at bad things. When I let go and I let God. I let God. Say let go. Let God. My sister, you can't handle it. Let go. Let God. My brother, it's been so hard. Let go. And let God. Let go. And let God. Tell your neighbor. Say let go. And let God. It's been too heavy for a while. Just let God. Oh. And let go. Let go. Let's go back to the top. Sing it soon.
Soon as I stop
Worrying about how stories. When I let go and I let God. Let it. That's when things
start.
When I stop looking.
I stop looking at back then. I let go and I
let God. Wait a minute. When you walk out of here with a renewed mindset, a transformed mindset. Though it feels like you're not enough, I'm your reminder today, you're more than enough. Everything you touch is filled because He saw every need that you may need. And I want to tell everybody in here, it don't feel good at all. It don't feel good at all. It don't feel good at all. But I want you to do something. Keep walking. Keep pressing. Keep walking. Keep pressing. Keep walking. And keep pressing. Keep pressing.
Somebody give the man of God a hand clap of praise. Oh, if you knew what it took to get back here, you'll stand on your feet and give God glory in this place. Tell somebody we made it back. Lord, because He saw me. Somebody give God for standing to your feet, everybody. Y'all, you know I understand something that sometimes